representative of South Africa, the second oldest challenger country, plays host to the 8th and final day of the 2024 Absa Epic. It's the grand finale. The social home of mountain biking in the country, fitting that this town welcomes and celebrates the world's finest arrival of hundreds of amateurs to the finish of this world's premier mountain bike stage race. In fact, it's just the attendant ride from the fields here at Pittsburgh as the first Absa Epic ended at Spear Wine Estate 20 years ago. Today, just over 1,000 courageous bold athletes, amateurs and professionals alike, will complete this untamed African mountain bike race. Some for the first time, others as category winners of legends, and even two for hosting the men for 20th time. Story, powerful history, thrilling racing, it's been a spectacular week we've had here on the Absa Epic, and it comes down to the final day in both the men's and women's professional categories, with the closest races in the history of the event. And it's all coming down to this, the grand finale here on the field of Pittsburgh in Cannondale. Water and ready to race are the riders that hit into the mountains here in Yorkshire. And this is how it transpired on the first of 2 days in the Metro Mountain Biking in South Africa here in Cannondale on stage 6 of the Cannondale towards the Civil Mountains.
Taking place in the Western Cape of South Africa, the route takes in spectacular mountain ranges, picturesque vistas, rugged tracks and manicured bike trails. The route changes every year, and this, the 20th edition, is a tough one. 605 kilometers with over 16,000 meters of climbing over the 8 days. The teams of two, both pro and amateur, must work together to conquer this challenging race. Today's penultimate stage marks stage 6, day 7 of the Absa Epic, and the course is relentless. The riders group out of Stellar through the incredible trail network on the Simmonsberg. Where climb after climb test the legs before worlds of perfect single tracks are to follow. The sawtooth profile should not be underestimated. It's 87 kilometers with 2,300 meters of climbing. On the Stellar start line, we have Bart Megalo, Hunspecking and Bart Allen, currently in third, 8 minutes and 43 off the pace. Sebastian Finney and Nino Schurter from World Bicycle Review are in second, almost 3 minutes behind. And in the yellow leaders jersey, Toyota Specialized 91, Matt Beers and Howard Gross. The gun goes for the men's elite category. They have almost 450 kilometers of racing in their legs, but they still have to perform because today is going to be decisive. The past few stages have been brutally hot, so the overnight rain will bring welcome change in the temperature. The dusty trail surface will also be slightly dampened, giving more grip than previous days. A narrow single track will make it difficult to overtake today, so positioning tactics are the name of the game. The misty forest surrounding Stellenbosch add a moody feel for the top teams. Danish champion Sebastian Finney and 2016 Olympic champion Nino Schurter from World Bicycle Review are currently in second, almost 3 minutes off the leaders. Again, it's not their age. Schurter and Finney don't have the legs, and it seems like Schurter has a real lapse of concentration. He has dirt on his shorts. The cyclists seize the opportunity. Canyon City is leading the charge with Bart Megalo and Toyota Specialized 91 in yellow. Both teams want to make time on World Bicycle Review. Bart Megalo are less than 6 minutes behind World Bicycle Review in the overall. As the riders traverse through the treacherous Ida Valley trails, Bart Megalo leads, followed by Toyota Specialized 91, Canyon City, and the Rio Victoria team of Fabian Ravensteiner and Samuel Toro. They are capable veterans with previous stage wins, but this is their best stage so far in 2024. The rough trails strike down Bart Megalo. Dutch champion picking up a bunker in his front tire. He quickly flanks and bombs it. Problem solved and 8 takes back. Next is the third Canyon City to puncture. Swiss American champion Mark Stockman is quick to fix the rear tire and get back on the trail. Bart Megalo just managed to pass them as they fix the problem. The other Valley Forest has taken its toll. Toyota Specialized 91 and Rio Victoria both remained unscathed at the front of the race. At the 76th kilometre mark, Bart Megalo and Canyon City are 47 seconds behind. The final time on Botco stop and the race has been turned on its head. The Ravensteiner set the pace to the city track with teammate Toro on his wheel. The yellow leaders jersey staying in close contention. They now have more than 7 minutes in the purple leaders jersey. They bide their time and wait to strike. The two teams fly through the caveman trials and it's down to the last 4 kilometers. Toyota Specialized 91 was a standard mark on the event for the back-to-back win. The engine drops have saved some power for exactly this scenario. They outspread Ravenside for the final climb and put the hammer down to the finish line. Toyota Specialized 91 outcrossed and that minute crossed the line in just under 3 hours and 47 minutes. William Victoria followed 41 seconds later for their first podium of the 2024 KKP. And Buck Megalo takes third and now just over a minute of second in the GC. They had 6 podium in third season Buck Megalo, while Alman and Hans Becking. In second, William Victoria from Willie Foro and Fabian Ravensteiner. And a convincing win for the Toyota Specialized 91 at Beers and Howard Price. The yellow leaders jersey remains with Toyota Specialized 91. At Beers and Howard Price, they've increased their lead to 9 minutes and 22 seconds. On the RMX Women's Elite start line is Toyota Specialized 91, Sophia Gomez VFR and Samara Shepherd in third. In second, we have Cannondale Factory Racing, Cannondale and Merlin Javala. And in the lead with 6 straight wins is Ghost Factory Racing. And a Turkstra and Nicole Kohler in just 2 minutes and 51 seconds. The start gun goes, and this is the stage for the teams to make a move on the orange leaders jersey. With almost 23 hours of racing in their legs and just 11.5 minutes separating the top 3 teams, it's all still to play for. Gomez VFR from Toyota Specialized 91 has been talking about going for a stage win and pushing the pace. She goes all in early in the stage to stress the other 2 teams that can't make it stick. Cannondale and Ghost Factory Racing teams are just too strong. Cannondale keeps putting pressure on the orange jersey, but all efforts are quickly crushed by the tactical Ghost team. Turks and Kono work well as a pair to manage each other's energies and take turns positioning themselves in between Lil and Mitterwald. It comes down to the final climb. If Ghost get the upper hand, they can crawl from the front going into the final 2 kilometers. Ghost Factory Racing crossed the finish line in Cannondale in just over 4.5 hours for their 7th win in a row. Cannondale Factory Racing followed just 1 minute later, with Toyota Specialized 91 in third over 10 minutes later. The RMX Women's Podium sees Toyota Specialized 91 on the bottom step. Cannondale Factory Racing in second, and Ghost Factory Racing take another convincing win on the penultimate stage. The orange leaders jersey stay with Anne Turkstra and Nicole Kohler. Ghost Factory Racing now have 3 minutes and 51 seconds in second place, going into the grand finale tomorrow.
So after stage 6, this is how it looks on the general classification. No shift in Sebastian Philly. Well, they are now 9 minutes and 22 behind the Toyota Specialized 91 pair of Fox and Beers. So battle behind them is going to be intense because Hans Becking without Alman has found their legs a little better than later stages of the weekday are 1 minute and 11 behind each Turks and Philly. Silvans and Kutu, don't discount them. Just over 3 minutes behind their place on the podium. Ravenside and Poro, their best day yet is yesterday, and they are in 5th place, Steve Johnson and Jakob Hartmann of the Stolberg of the Republic. In the RMX Bruins category, Alan Turkstra and Nicole Kohler have a perfect 7 out of 7 stage wins and 3 minutes and 51 second lead on the Ron and Candace Lil, Cannondale Factory Racing. The Toyota Specialized 91 pair, well, they got tried again, but not being able to succeed in putting the pressure, the heat on the teams above them. This is on the lead to the field behind the other leaders. Behind them, Gerard and Henry Queen have been delivering the way they've gone about this race, and they are holding firmly on to 4th place here in the middle. The Pennington and Vera Rossa and Alexis Scott. Stellenbosch Mountains await these riders today, but I'm afraid that there are a couple of riders who won't be taking part, and one of them is Lucas Baum, the German rider who's supposed to be Garagega, won the race in 2022, second last year, and unfortunately Baum took ill 2 days ago, and tried to race yesterday, but pulled out have the critical input to provide these. So Gary Baker has said he will ride on today and he will continue the Outcast Jersey to finish the journey around the Absa Cape Epic. Likewise, Jaroslav Kulak a couple of days ago, the three-time winner, former world champion and Olympic champion, sadly falls and injured his shoulder and collarbone, and he also for a number of race. Cannondale was superiorized to him among a few of the elite pros and many more amongst the amateurs certainly not falling by the wayside as the Absa Cape Epic lives up to its reputation as a race that measures all. Today's final stage, so I'm going to introduce my two colleagues alongside me, Neil Gardner, who's been with the Absa Cape Epic since its inception, and alongside the wonderful to have the privilege to have the former world champion, Olympic champion, and Absa Cape Epic's multiple stage winner, Sabine Spitz. Good morning, Sabine.
Good morning, Gerard, and also good morning to Neil.
Good morning. It's great to be here. It's a fantastic day out for sure, and a great weekend. And so much that we're looking forward to where it unfolds within a 3 week. And it's going to be a fascinating day, still so close.
It is, and that's what lies ahead for them. The Yonkers of the famed and fabled Yonkers of Trail Network is going to be explored almost in its entirety today on both sides of the slopes of those mountains. And then they'll come out from the workers' lockdown, they'll swing past the finish here at Kutsenberg and head out on some of the roughest, rockest trails imaginable through Eden and Lockbury and back again down the famous G-Spot Trail, which will be the turn-to-top section and bring them home to be celebrated right here on every single moment. Who is it going to be in the lead here when they get to this finish? If it is tight, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. Right, let's go to the start just before they rolled off the start line this morning. We had our man, the former winner here, former world champion, an Olympic champion, no, not Sabine Spitz, because we've got so many of them around us here. This is, of course, our friends.
It's also hard as first campus to come and enjoy. I think most people know it because when it comes to the wall riding and stuff. So it's going to be interesting, yeah. I think the weather's staying nice and out, it's cool, but it's not wet. So I think it's going to be a good day.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, ready to go. It's always a nice ride. Finished the week already and it's sad it's over after today, but also nice that we can have some good rest and feel human again after 8 intense days.
So you definitely feeling it?
Yeah. If somebody says it's not tired now, it's a big lie. I don't believe anything happens. Everybody has still fresh next today, so.
On the other hand, the finals, the Gonzalez, everyone likes to win that stage.
Yeah, I think everybody has something extra to push, like to give it like that, or you say it, to empty the tank completely, and always just give some extra push because you know tomorrow you can just lay on the beach all day. So
A lot of trails today, a lot of single track, beautiful trails to ride. You know more of them?
Yeah, I think I've ridden all these trails, so I know them. I know the area, so it helps a little bit.
It's a fast stage for sure.
I think it'll be a fast stage, but also I think it's going to be tough.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
I hope we have another good day. Yesterday I struggled quite a bit. But today I really look forward for a bit longer climbs where I usually can get in my mood and go.
It's not an easy stage, even if it's the final.
No, really not. But yeah, we will see.
Yesterday you were very close to a stage win. Is that the goal for today?
Yeah, we'll see. Day by day, as I say, it was quite sick. When it's a goal and everything getting better. Yes, the goal is crazy a bit today. My God, everything bad. Yeah, and I push one more and try to go out now. It is specializing for the race.
On a day like this, in the leader just you get also extra fast ritual in the course for your race.
yeah, we've been prepared the whole week for things to go wrong, and sometimes they do. And to mitigate that risk as much as possible, just by maintaining focus, so getting through your pursuit, especially the first 2 or 3 descents. And yeah, nothing happens.
You won't have this stage for leaders
yeah, for sure we wanted to do good, and then yeah, we will give our best. Yeah, we will see if we try to get another big victory, but yeah, the main goal is for sure to keep this very secure.
As they charge away 67 kilometers, 2,000 meters of climbing. I don't think we've had a grand finale. We certainly haven't had a looped grand finale, starting and finishing with the same venue before, but one that is as technically challenging as this is physically challenging as this final stage. So these fits, what are your thoughts on today?
Yeah, I was very impressed how tough it is. I was 2 days before I was out and saw the last 17 kilometers. So then we are taking the riders back out of Innsbruck, back to the Cannondale stadium, and then we have to head out to Montmartre. It works the riders. It's not an easy rolling like we had it in the previous years. And I mean, Neil, you went out with your brother ride.
You made it look very easy.
I think let's put my quick choices out of the. Let's forget about those. It was very rough. I think it's testimony to the fact that suspension has been invented and there's a reason for it. But it was beautiful to be out there and incredible to see the course and the challenge right up until the very last kilometre. Managed to navigate the trails of G-Spot just to see what the riders would go through on the last section and just how red hot the racing. You can imagine it's fine taking it at our leisurely pace, but also taking it at a red hot racing pace. Get a glimpse of the riders at that red hot rhythm. Here we are, we can see the bikes. Toyota Specialized 91, they are already on the pace and clearly the rest is on.
Yeah, the early climb up into Jonkershoek has separated that group of elite men out. Now we look at the Aramex women's start and in those two orange jerseys. Ghost Factory Racing has been utterly untouchable this week. They won every stage and 3 minutes and 51 seconds they're over the lead as they go into this final stage. It is a stage that things can change, and we've seen it before in these races, so do not discount that they change in your general classification, but you feel like the 67 kilometers that the Candice Little and her partner written on that, there would have to be something fairly serious to go wrong with the team on their third track to make up for the 3 minutes and 51 seconds.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because other teams may try in the last day of the grand finale to make a move, and it's like quite a prestige stage, and to have a win at the pole or the grand finale, it's an outstanding.
They're all up the car road that takes you up to the Jonkershoek gate. Just before the gate, they took a left turn into the plantation area of Jonkershoek before they would hit the Cape Nature Reserve area. And all the climbs did the job early on. Skada here, Sahili Preen digging deep to get past Skada, joining the wheel of her French teammate Lena Giraud. Next to Skada, we defend each other. Giraud also was her teammate. Climbs immediately stretched and in some cases broke the elastic.
And we could say that this is a big weekend ahead of us in Stellenbosch. Stellenbosch has been world renowned for being bike country. This week it's renowned for mountain biking country, some of the best trails in the world. And the last 2 days of the race really culminates. It's actually almost unfair to say that the race is culminating in the grand finale because it has been red hot all week. From the very first time check, we've seen the tooth and nail fight about overall general classification. It was tribute to leaders jerseys both in the men and the Aramex women's category. And, it's certainly the closest women's race I've ever seen in the 20-year history of the race. It's said to be another thriller. We've seen the dominant team of Team Ghost. And they have is leading the way. Canvas Mill and the world champion, world marathon champion, Roland Mitterwalder close behind.
We're on the first section of the Armageddon descent, one of the many descents tackled here in Yorkshire. It's a beautiful trail, but it can trip you up occasionally. There are little rock drop-offs and rocks that you have to be very, very vigilant and focused to avoid.
We see it also with India's own big boulders. And these something where you already have tables so that little gap jumps which you can take if you know exactly the down of Armageddon. And one famous spot is also it's like a big boulder which you can almost take like
a wall.
Yes, where you ride along that wall, and we definitely got to see also some spectacular pictures of that section.
Yes, and Grots are alone up front, not quite alone up front, because I think that Grot team can see they will be, or it might be Ravensteiner and Poro who've bolted out of the pack. They've come down Armageddon, they've gone back up, and they're making their way across to a trail called Red Phoenix, which Red Phoenix was built after those terrible fires of 2015, 2016, hence the name. And they are dropping into Red Phoenix now. Great fun. They're halfway down the whole trail of Red Phoenix, and they are on the charge. These are trails that these riders all know very, very well. They come and train here year in and year out and prepare for this event and for the rest of their year's mountain biking. Beautiful riding it is off the slopes of the mountain here in Yorkshire, the Yorkshire Mountains on one side, and on the other side of the valley that looks straight into Lawrenceville if they were to get to the top of the valley. So, Judge, I think it is KMC who might be the Swinger and Reuter. They were prominent yesterday until Reuter lost touch with his partner. The indigenous forest section here.
Well, good move by the pairing to, you could say, collaborate with the yellow jerseys. The yellow jerseys are really set today to defend their overall lead. The lead is 9 minutes and 22 over World Bicycle Relief. On the early climbs, we saw Nina Schurter and Sebastian Kinney being distanced, and that battle for the second and third spot on the podium really looks to be heating up. Buff Megamos, Hans Becking and Bud Allen were still more or less in touch with the charging pair of Beers and Howard Grotz. We did expect to see Matthew Beers and Howard Grotz defending their leads there, but they've been aggressive from the start, looking to take, I guess it's attack as the best form of defense. They managed to distance their rivals very early on, including the likes of Andreas Seebold and Mark Schiffer, who also are very much in the fight for that final spot on the podium. World Bicycle Relief seems to be out of the picture at the moment. We haven't seen them on the trails, haven't seen them at the time checks. And Swear to Specialized 91 look dominant as ever.
Winding down, you can see the boulder field there that is going to test these riders all the way through this trail. The Red Phoenix. The highly skilled riders here are quite phenomenal the way they handle these trails. Right, Harman and Hans Becking, they are chasing and Becking a place on the podium which they have at the moment at 10:32 behind the leaders, but they are hunting second place here, 1 minute and 11 behind World Bicycle Relief on the general classification. So every chance that they could walk up the place on the general classification. The races within the races, what Cat's going to define today, there's a general classification, there's this position, and of course there's the glory of winning the Grand Finale, the final stage of the 20th edition of the Absa Cape Epic. Something to really, really chase today.
And we're just watching right now, Mark Allen and Hans Becking Allen in the more white-coloured European Marathon Championships jersey, and Hans Becking in the National Championships jersey. The sight of the Belgian and the Dutch rider heading down in pursuit of the lead of the race, ahead of the race, and still looking good for a stage, but they'll need to make up this deficit and take a couple of risks on this downhill section to get back in touch. There's still a long way to go on the stage. They still have to pass the first water point at Yonkers with 21 kilometer mark, and then we'll know exactly what the time deficits, what the time gaps are from the head of the field to this team right now. I'm expecting it right on.
Beautiful visuals from the bike of Stefan Sahn of these trails. The ace of Spain, Cannondale, is the man who basically curates these trails and looks after and prepares them and maintains them, and has been responsible for building a lot of the trails as well, because a massive team around Britain was in the original trail in Yonkers. We'll see his original trail later on. The trail has been a magnificent drop. Down they drop here. Great spectators out in Yonkers are getting out a closer look at these riders.
Yeah, you see, like, it's definitely very important that you know the line, because if you go over like the little drop and there's like the rock behind and you have to choose your line nicely, it's easy to land on that rock and punch it.
Absolutely. The points have been made well about looking after your equipment today, and it will be tested with some very, very rocky terrain here. That little drop there, they all pick the line that rolls down with Billy and Schurter. Drop down, oh, Schurter doing his characteristic whip as he drops down onto the road. Up ahead, it is Ravensteiner and the Apollo, I think it is, who are putting their heads down with gears and drops. All they need to do, the yellow jerseys of the third and Specialized 91, is just keep on their bikes and make sure they look after their equipment, and they'll be absolutely spot on. Well, looking back at the history of the race, in the last 5 editions, if we look at the grand finale, which is extremely prestigious, it's prestigious to win a stage of the Escalating any stage, and especially prestigious to win the grand finale with the crowd, with the heroes welcome, as the riders head into the finish. And the grand finale in the last 5 years, just having a look back, are currently 5 riders still in the field today in the race that have won a grand finale, and one of them is Mr. Ravensteiner. He's in there. This is probably the 2 yesterday. Oral was so doing the interview suggested it wasn't feeling too good on the previous days, but he suffered yesterday that final time. Are we certain that Ravensteiner and Oral?
So to me, it almost looks actually like it looks like Simon Schneller behind him was Huber. Just by my right, and also I just thought, just size-wise, this can't be actually a Ravensteiner. He's not that tall. Simon Schneller definitely absolutely. I think this is
Whereas Huber is the overall winner in 2016 with 12 sprint victory. Huber was first. Huber a last-minute call-up to the race, and he's living up to it. He spent the week riding into it. They had a close brush with the stage win on stage 5. It was not to be. There was still a major GC battle going on at the time, as is still at the moment. But the Bulls Mavericks team, which has got their name in lights. It's been a very long time since the Bulls have won a grand finale. The last 5 years, we've seen the likes of Egger and Bound. The last 2 years, they've won the grand finale in the men's category. Sadly, Lucas Bound was had to retire from the race. Gerald Egger will still continue as an individual finisher. And last year, we also saw in the Aramex women's category, Monica Calderon riding for the Steamboat. Monica Calderon is also still in the race as an individual finisher. And times confirm that the Bulls Mavericks team are on the charge, looking very motivated for a stage win. Looking on the front of the affairs, pushing the pace, looking to push the challenge their rivals, because of course they do have Outspecking and Ireland breathing down their necks. Outspecking won the grand finale in 2021, and he will know what that victory tastes like. And he'll be keen to share that victory with his new partner, new trade team for Ireland. New pairing for Becking and Ireland in 2021. Now, all of 2021's grand finale victories, that was won by Laura Steger and Zena Fry.
a dominant performance. It was 8 out of 8 for that pairing, and in the IMAX women's category, it could well be another 8 out of 8 for Ghost Factory Racing. But we're still with the men as they head into the water point, and we're going to time check in just a moment exactly to see what the time gap is back to Buff Megama, and we're calculating around about a minute or so, but we'll get those official results to you in a moment. And Canyon CD are also in close attendance. We spotted them, our spotters out on the road saw, but the Canyon CD team also looking to leapfrog the World Bicycle Relief team into a podium spot overall.
And we had seen actually earlier this week the Bulls Maverick team also in the leading group, and it was in Wellington. But so the first mover actually just came quite late, or like as a spare rider, called out for the Cape Epic. So he wasn't like 100% prepared. And so that also played toll in Wellington, that he in a way had to then also to break off. But they actually have been, let's say, quite long with the leading group and showed also quite good performance.
So far, it is the Bull Mavericks who are laying down the law early on in this grand finale stage. Third of Specialized 91, Martin again. Really, as much as they just want to stay out of trouble and up front. Buff Megama, well, they are going well in respect of chasing a second place in this race, because the World Bicycle Relief team, Nino Schiff and Sebastian Finney, they've just gone through that checkpoint. They're around 30 seconds behind Buff Megama. So they are Buff Megama, Betting and Alleman slowly but surely eating away at the general classification standing. That's how close it is between second place and third place in this race. 11-minute difference between the top two teams suggests that if they stay where they are now and riding like they are now, that the Specialized 91 could well be on their way to another victory. Here's a second consecutive victory for Ross, a second since his first in 2018.
And the tactic of the day, certainly when we've seen in the early stages, we saw Matt Ears on the front, and the idea of Matt Ears he likes to put pressure on really early, because he's not the kind of rider that likes the stop go kind of riding. He's a pure marathoner, enjoys the gravel circuit. Also, it's really that he's very much an endurance rider, and he likes to keep a steady pace. He doesn't like the elastic pace. Just puts more of his comfort zone, so he can set a super high rhythm with his massive power that he puts down on the trails. And they did some calculations before the race today, and they looked at the other riders would have to ride significantly faster to make up that deficit. Their plan is working.
This is a brutally steep climb, and they've now completed 2 of the 4 significant single-track descents that they're doing in Yorkshire, Armageddon and Red Phoenix. They are heading up on the same side up towards the drop-down Never-Ending Story, which is one of the original trails here. It's one of the very first, far end of the Yorkshire Nature Reserve, 11,000 hectares it is. And Alexis Scarda and Vero Rosso. It's been a tough week for the defending champion, Vero Rosso, their new partner. Alexis Scarda efficient in 30 minutes of the round. Perhaps today they can redeem some of the disappointment for the week. They could all hit them here. They are up front, so they've gone away from the battle for general classification. They're not in that general classification battle any longer. Indeed, that is the Cannondale factory team with Candace Lill and Mona Mittermüller, and then the Ghost Factory Racing team behind them. They are not concerned with what is happening up ahead with Lawson and Scarda. They're more concerned with each other now.
Yeah, but also we saw actually Vera Rosa and Alexis Scarda. Actually, they had a bit of bigger gap, and now Candice really tries here to close that gap. And like I said earlier, I mean, the Grand Finale has quite a prestige, and so Candice also, in a way, on the other hand, also wants to put pressure on the Ghost girls or the Ghost ladies, and make sure that don't give up. And so the Cannondale factory team, they definitely fighting to the end and trying to make maybe today a good result and maybe a stage win.
Absolutely, Candice Lill, wouldn't she just love that? It's been a very good week for the Cannondale factory racing team, but Candice Lill is a rider who has finished second at the Absa Cape Epic 4 times, and it may well be that it is going to end up that way again. A little push from Sophia Gomez Viafan for Samara Shepherd.
And it's not easy if you see also the underground too. You have to also really you have to hold your handlebar very tight. If you get one hand off to give your partner a bit of push, so it's not easy under this on this tar road or on this road to really also to give your partner a bit support. Push.
They're closing in here, Lil and Mitterveld, they're leading the GB, the orange leaders jerseys, and they're closing in on the back wheel of Vera Rossa and Alexis Skada. Lil, of course, has some experience in winning on the grand finale. She had Mariska Strauss a couple of years ago, 2022. But, again, finishing second overall in that year.
Second overall, 2 into Sophia Gomez Viafan. She rode with Haley Batten and Lil Strauss in a fantastic grand finale to Brondby in 2022. I would like to repeat that, but their main objective is the overall general classification. They're going to be looking at 2 first factory races for any weakness. We're back with the men's category. Urs Huber in frame, the 2016 winner overall, and multiple stage winner Urs Huber. And he has earmarked, it's clear that earmarked today's stage. There are well over an hour on overall general classification. To be exact, there are an hour and 26 minutes, so they let that time slip. And perhaps tactically, first of all, giving them a bit of a chance to rest, to recuperate. And the other riders were on the pace all day, all week, and each rider got a chance, a couple of days to recuperate and just save their energy for where it really counts. The prestigious grand finale victory. And credit to Urs Huber, last minute call out, and he's doing his partner for Simon Schneller, the young German marathoner, a well-known campaigner. Wouldn't he love to get his name in right to the grand finale? The new grand finale, the new grand finale in Stellenbosch. It's an exciting one because it's quite unique in that it's a loop course not only, and spectators will have a chance to see the riders come really close to the course, possibly Christenberg Dam, just meters away from the finish area. This is your backyard, you know exactly what it means and what it's like to watch all these races, a race like this. A prestigious race like this live, especially the grand finale.
I love that, enjoying these trails. This is the never-ending story trail. It's been recently rehabilitated, probably about opened only a couple of months ago. But Bennett Bell and his team have done an incredible job in rehabilitating this trail. And they're creating a sensationally fun section to ride this. Sabine, I know you've probably ridden this, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
As it is now.
And you see, I mean, if you're just more started earlier, it's actually quite smooth. Like, and the other, like on there, coming down together, it's not like, it's quite rocky, and like I said earlier, you have to just also watch your line, and you have to know what is in the next little, like jump or drop. And here it's like really, it's nicely done, it's smooth, and you just have to. You have to have your handlebar tight and when it goes around the corner with the T-spot, but just think which is but also like force, G-force.
Meditate.
Going around the corner. So.
Well, it is. The rehabilitated never-ending story is considerably smoother than the old version, and it is fast and fun, absolutely fun. This is, as I said, the trail that about 20 years ago, I think, it was first carried out by Murad Burger and his team. Right now, we saw a lot of his handiwork out at Meraki yesterday. But the trail builders make for fantastic fun on the bike here in Stellenbosch, that's for sure. Here's following contentedly almost behind the Bulls Mavericks here, who's setting the pace here at 5 eyes on the big prize in the grand finale for Simon Schneller and Urs Huber. And we've seen them earlier in the week did try some aggressive riding, but they're clearly saving themselves and have been saving themselves for something big on this final day.
And you definitely won't find a lot of riders which don't live during the week, a weekday. So it's like you have a Saturday, and then I mean we saw it also with Heinz Becken and Paul Allemann. So Wout was riding very strong at the beginning, and then he had like 1-2 days where he was like really suffering, and Hans was actually the one who tried to push him, to pull him, and then it turned around again. So I think it's normal over the 8 days when you have one weekday, and I think like you're not strong and you're suffering. And also the Vera Rosa, she had 2 days ago, she didn't have a good day. She told me that she also like it was so tough, so hard, and today we saw her in the league.
And she's finding her legs as we sit behind Howard Crops Rapiers as they chase Urs Huber and Simon Schneller down the extension of the Redmi story. And these rocks, you see them there, you ride between them and you get the line slightly wrong, a bit of fatigue and lack of focus and your derailler's gone. So that's the danger here.
Absolutely. You have to really be careful. And if you see, that rock comes too close, I mean, you've seen our skilled riders, and then you also do it trying to save you minimize the risk also with just lifting your wheel a little bit to the side, that the risk that your derailleur goes or gets damaged, you just try to take that off.
Bart Allemann and Hans Becking charging down the trail as they exit the middle section of Never Ending Story and drop into the lower section now. And they are in third place. All about the rock for them. There are those rocks we're talking about. If there's a rocky trail initially, and then it flattens and smooths out this little section. The next section, a little bit lower, the river trail, is a lot more rocky. Well, again, they've made it slightly less dangerous for man and machine, but that is going to challenge the riders. And then they'll cross the river, the Eerste River, and head up Borsleis on the other side. Beautiful scenes in Jongershoek Nature Reserve. About 7 kilometers east of Stellenbosch is Jongershoek, Appendot's Holland Mountains to the south, Jongershoek Range to the north, and it has been a favorite and famed place for mountain bikers for many, many years. Nina Schurter and Sebastian Fili try and mitigate their losses here. They are under pressure. Their second place under threat from Bart Megamo.
But we see, like he knows these trails so well that even Sebastian Fili was really prudent to stay on his wheel, and it's like just if you're actually a little bit far away and it doesn't work.
Sitting behind Sebastian Fili, the champion of Denmark, and the world champion of the cross country ahead of him, Nino Schurter, for World Bicycle Relief, as they chase down the bottom end of Never Ending Story Trail here in Jongershoek on the grand finale stage. This is the team in their sights. They are ahead of them on the trails today. They're behind them by 1 minute and 11 seconds on general classification. That's the Bart Megamo team. That's the race within a race today. Up ahead, the Bulls Mavericks are leading the stage, and this is our Ghost Factory Racing team who are leading the women's race, the unmixed women's race, over the Cannondale Factory Racing team. I think they've closed up and past the early attackers, Alexis Scada and Gero Lossa, and as you have been throughout the week, and Nicole Kohler on the frontier in dominant track again.
And they've been dominant from a firepower point of view, but also from a tactical point of view. They had a really fantastic showing at the prologue, and it was their job from that point to defend the jersey for them after every single attack. And just decisive moments, they picked their moments to just eat a little bit more time into their rivals. Cannondale Factory Racing, masterclass in composure and control, and it's all about that mental game as well, just not showing a single bit of weakness. We haven't not seen an inkling of it, and their rivals. So this has just been, as a professional cyclist, you always look for a weakness, and Sabine, you'll talk to this, you're not only looking at the trails in front of you, you're not only managing your own efforts, but you're monitoring your rivals' efforts as well.
Yeah, you look for weaknesses and you just also start to be able to put more pressure on the competitors, on your rivals. And with what you see also with Nicole Collar, she's not just the most regular team here in Stella, but she often also joins the Swiss national team and is also for many years on a regular base for January also for some training. And the Swiss riders in general, they're very, very good technical riders.
Yes, over here earlier this year, it's not uncommon to see gold, silver and bronze medals from the last Olympic Games riding up the trails here in Stellenbosch early in the year as they escape the Northern Hemisphere winters and come and enjoy the heat of the summer down here. Down off the Red Phoenix Trail, this is our leading women's pack now. 3 teams, and we go all together. We are following our Aramex women's race here. The leaders in the orange jerseys, Anne Terpstra and Nicole Kohler for the Ghost Factory Racing Team. And just going to the front there, the Cannondale Factory Racing Team, South African champion, Candice Lillen, alongside of the World Marathon champion, Mona Mitterweiler. And they are second overall on in the race. And just behind them, Vera Lawson and her American champion partner, Alexis Carter. Perspective on where they are, lots of trails up and down the side of the mountain here on the Yorkershoek side, and then they head across to the other side, and we'll come down the Firehat Trail, having gone up the horse place. You can see where the men are, Thomas Ditch and Stefan Sam on the Bulls Media e-bike, and Jesse Nixon is following the women's races. They start the long climb up towards the never-ending trail. Stefan Sam we're with right now, and they'll turn out of that river trail, hit down a gravel road across the low-level bridge at the Easter River, and then up onto the other side. This can be tricky. There's a little bump and a river crossing down, at least a drainage bump down here. They've got to be very careful. No problem at all for these top professional riders. They handle it comfortably enough. A little kick out, and they're on that single track again. Once they've got off out of the slow back.
And it can happen, Gerald, that you talk about the tricky descents, and you talked a lot already about the technical trails, that sometimes it can be something as benign as a small rock in a wide open road that could ruin the chances of not only a stage win, but overall getting, defending that first one overall is unspecking. And Bart Allen, a great pairing. They both have found their perfect match, you could say. This is a team in absolute symbiosis, and their third spot overall general classification is proof of that. They have put together an amazing campaign. They've won the yellow jersey, they've won a stage, and fantastic they are. Some fantastic week after it.
Let's hear from Stefan Sam on the bike as they hit the horse lace now. Stefan, having fun out there?
Absolutely, it's important. I know these trails were back in the day, but I think it's been a gosh, that was just a pleasure to ride here.
Hunting and the Bartalm are really attacking second place, it seems now. They're hunting that second place on Danilo Schurter and Sebastian Kinney, going well.
Absolutely, they're not doing great things, but keeping in control in the dominance. Don't risk anything. Keep a steady pace of really going into the rest. PBS on the hotel to the Armageddon. That's going to be interesting for today.
These two look as though they have regained their form they had earlier in the week, and they're looking very, very hungry here.
Absolutely. Working perfectly as a team. Never leaving big gaps. Yeah, this is how it should look like.
Is that the speed we see on your device, on your bike there?
27, 25 uphill.
Easy, isn't it?
Easy. yeah. Oh, they got the whole
I think it's just for all the amateur riders that when you also just realize the speed that these professionals are riding on these trails, it's really amazing.
Stefan, you followed every kilometre of their race this year, and Hans-Becky was talking about how fatigued they all are. Well, you have a grandstand seat on that. You can see it, can't you?
I can see it.
You?
It's so much fun to stick around and sit and think that, like, developing the race throughout the weekend. Like we always say, we have the best seat in the house. It's the race. It's just a privilege to follow these guys.
Yeah, and if you see the pictures, it's really great to see that Oliver, he is on a mission. He really doesn't make it easy for his partner Hans-Becky. He never comes a little kick out of the saddle, trying to keep the momentum and take actually also the speed or carry the speed over the single kicks.
And back to the Bulls, the leading man, the Bulls team is a legendary team at the Absa Epic. On the 20th edition, it's only appropriate that they're at the front of affairs. The Bulls team really started, they arrived at the race in 2007 for the first time and were dominant in the proceedings, fighting out with team Cannondale Fredestein back in 2007. Eventually winning the race, Carl Platz and Stefan Son have both been winning 3 races, 3 Absa Epics together. Carl Platz winning 5, including the very first, the inaugural Absa Epic. And just on these two teams, the Bulls team is a well-known trade team in marathon racing. And perhaps not been as dominant as they have in the last few years. But I think it was going back to 2008. We looked at the stats, looked at the numbers. The last time the Bulls won a grand finale stage was in 2008, and that was Carl Platt and Stefan Son. Stefan Son will remember that day very well. Another epic battle with Cannondale Fredestein, and eventually conceding to the team of Rolf Olsen, the 2-time winner, and Jakob Fuglsang, who went on to a successful career on the road. And the Bulls team looking fantastic out there. It looks like a really good day for them. Urs Huber and Simon Schneller.
Yeah, Simon actually makes nice pace and in a way also caring about his partner, not going too fast. But for us, it's a tough one. And of course, if you get the last minute call out for the Cape Epic, you also know what you're in for, and he has he has also his pedigrees, and he has also a lot of wins in under his belt. So it's suffering for him, but I think also that he knows how to suffer.
Imagine that it's certainly worth it when you have the carrot dangling in front of you at the grand finale stage, when Urs Huber has not won a grand finale stage, nor has he won, nor has Simon Schneller. So high for motivated, prepared to quit any of the pain is worth it, basically, is what I'm saying. They were absolutely be super motivated for the stage, and they have clearly earmarked it. The airport stage 5, didn't quite get there with the battle for overall general classification going on. And they have saved themselves for the grand finale. And in the picture now, setting a high rhythm, is Matt Beers on the smooth roads. This is his terrain. Just a slightly less steep climb is perfect for him. Hard rocks, matching him pedal stroke. Rocks, there were question marks going into the race with hard rocks. He had big shoes to fill. Matt Beers is a 2-time champion. He won in 2021 and in 2023 with cross-country partners, very fast cross-country races. Mr. Blevins was the world champion in the short track, and Matt Beers' partner in 2021 was Jordan Saru, also a former world champion in the Olympics, but both specialists in the short track or shorter races, the 90-minute efforts, the 20-minute efforts, and he has had hard rods, has done, installed those boots admirably.
Well, Thomas Leach is sitting on their wheels on the Bulls Media e-bike. And Thomas, they're on a downhill now. They're looking very, very comfortable, Thomas. Would that be right? Heading down that trail. The corner here. And head up. There's a short little kicker they're coming up to now. And they'll head up to the second level of the fire rate. Thomas, how are they looking used to the yellow jerseys? They're looking strong from our perspective. They cement dual track for a little while and then it breaks down into a rougher trail. And not too long ago, this was completely unrivaled. The floods and the heavy rains that struck this part of the world in June, July last year devastated a lot of these trails. An incredible amount of hard work's gone into rehabilitating not just the trails, but these tracks as well, and has made them rideable again and giving the riders the experience here. There's a very marked difference in the cadence of these two riders, isn't it?
Yes, hard quads definitely applies to keep a bit higher spinning pedal stroke, but I mean it's also Matt Beer's feature. He is a very strong rider. He's big, and he has also the lever like from his legs. So he definitely can push also with higher, like with bigger gears, and this is what I mean. This is also his quality. If you see like more flattish or even so slightly climbs.
Back with Stefan Sahm now on the Buff Mega Moped. They'll hook left down onto that cement track climb. It is Bart Alleman and Hans Becking doing all they can to try and escape the World Bicycle Relief team, not only defending their third place, but attacking fourth place, second place at least. That's their motivation today, to get up onto one step below the top on the podium at the conclusion of this race. They wore the yellow jerseys for a couple of days after taking them from Schurter and Finney after they'd won it on the prologue. But that's the helicopter behind them, and that'll tell this pair where the chasers are. Simon Schneller and Urs Huber behind him. Schneller, in fact, rode the Pembroke Trek earlier this year, finished third there with Axel Rudel Courtenay, his original partner. Unfortunately, the Frenchman had an accident just shortly before the coming out to South Africa for the Absa Cape Epic. They're dropping into the Fire Hut Trail, one of the real favourites here, one of the older trails here. And it is a trail that, well, some of the legends of this part of mountain biking here, Paul the Plumber and the like, got hold of Bennett Dell and said, come on, we need a trail here. And they built it many years ago. And it's gone through a number of rehabilitations, number of fires and so on, but it is an absolute thrill, this.
Yeah, and if you consider that the Wills Maverick team, that also the Toyota Specialized 91 team actually have been close together earlier, and so here Simon Schneller and Urs Huber managed to pull quite a bit away, but also it could be that Matt Beers, I mean, he knows also all these trails, that he in a way just tries to keep them inside and makes the move later on the stage when it goes actually again very rough into the trails down to Monterey.
Yeah, it does get rough, and this stage has that sting in the tail once they pass Kutzenberg. Some might say cruel it is as you pass so close to the finish, right past the finish.
I think I was.
You're happy with that? And then head out. In a way, it all harks back to the early years of the Absa Cape Epic. That was a bit of a hallmark of some of the early race directors, that bring them close to the finish and then send them away. And that's exactly what the story is today on this grand finale as they explore the trail network around Stellenbosch. Beers leading drops down the Fire Hut Trail. It is spectacular stuff, fast and smooth. A few little drops, but and a couple of jumps near the bottom. Two little sections here they ride. There is a higher section, a little more frisky and switchback lane, but Beers loving this. And we did a very informal time check
at the turn-off as they went down into fire at it's around about a minute gap or so, and shows that the Bulls are absolutely motivated. And then Buck Megamo go through there around about looks like just over 2 minutes behind the Bulls. So the gaps are already stretching out early on in the stage, and we're around about 35 kilometers in to the 67-kilometer trail. So we're just past the halfway mark.
On board with Stefan Saab down the Fire Trail behind Unspecking, the Dutch national champion, and ahead of him is his partner Bart Alleman, the European champion, the Belgian. And they've been one of the standout teams at this year's Absa. They've gone off the bike. Their spirit has been incredible. When they lost the yellow jerseys, they were incredibly comfortable with it, happy that they just enjoyed their 2 days in the yellow jerseys, and they were happy to just continue on their journey here. And great spirit. They seem to have a fire back today, though. They go really well today with the concentration on Sebastian Finney, particularly in the World Bicycle League team, as he and Nino Schurter try and stay in second place. 1 minute and 11. Keep emphasizing that. That's the gap back, and perhaps we'll get an idea fairly shortly as to what the gap is between these two teams.
Well, we did get a time check at the 22-kilometer mark. They're already past the 35k mark, but at the 22k mark, World Bicycle Relief were only 30 seconds in front of World Bicycle Relief. Buff Megamo, World Bicycle Relief gap on overall, that would be the virtual leaderboard that Buff Megamo are now eating into that advantage. That 1 minute and 11 advantage is now down to 30 seconds. Just to show you where we are on the trail, around about the halfway mark. In the middle, you can see Fire Hut. They've passed that section there, the top section of Fire Hut, and now they'll be heading into Yonkers Drift, the final section of the trail, before they hit the Toyota Tough section called G-Spot. That'll be a highlight to watch. The rolling jumps from G-Spot, the fitting end. Oh, and disaster for the Buff Megamo team. Can they fix it? Saw Willie tear past them, and now it's all about how quickly they can plug that. Look, you can see there, Bart Alleman is putting a plug into the tire. They've spotted the issue, and now great teamwork from these two. Huntsbaker will look to inflate the tire as fast as possible, and that was an extremely quick attendance to what potentially could be something that put that podium spot or the stage win at risk.
Well, that is a great example of how professional these riders are in effecting repairs to a puncture. Absolutely.
And work as a team.
Yeah.
You could also see that Hans Becking already had the bomb out, ready to bomb the tire, while Wout Alleman still tried actually to plug it. And the moment he pulled the plug out, the bomb got released, and Hans put the pressure, the CO2 in.
These are things that they practice to get right when they're on the trail and not waste any more time than that has gone.
Yeah, and it's also like little things just to save time, that you have like plugs that you just have with insulation tape. You have it on your handlebar, easy grip, but you don't first have to fiddle around in your pockets to get these fixed, because to have a puncture, that's probably the most common
mechanical issue, yeah.
What you have. So, and these things, bomb, and also then the plugs, this you need to have accessible.
Well, there's Schurter and Finney. They sense now, they can see that they were about 30 odd seconds behind when last we checked on the checkpoint. Now it is much closer due to that mechanical issue. And Becking and Alleman now will feel the heat from the world champion. He knows these trails, he loves these trails. They're a few better, but he can't go too hard. He's got to look after his partner Sebastian Finney here in the Danish champion's jersey.
And Nino Schurter, the two of them are wearing different trade team line outfits, and different outfits completely, in fact, and they formed this partnership specially for the race, World Bicycle Relief. Nino Schurter is well known as a 10-time world champion. He is not the world marathon champion, however. There's one title that is, I think it's the only world title that has eluded him. He's been Olympic champion, world champion, several times World Cup champion, and also an Absa Quebec champion twice.
He can see them, and this is his playground, that's for sure. He's closing in so quickly, Nino Schurter.
Yeah, little things can make a difference. I just noticed also that Sebastian Fini had, like, you know, in the trails, that's just ever slightly goes down. How to, in a way, use the dropper seat post. Are you putting it down, or do you leave it a bit higher up, that you still can also have a pedal stroke? If it's too low, then it's like, yeah, you don't actually create that force, that power. And here, actually, in a way, Nino also managed to open up a gap to Sebastian Fini.
Down the low reaches of the Fire Hut Trail again. Cannot say enough about these trails. The work done, the love put into these trails by everyone involved here in Stellenbosch to maintain it, create and drive it. The passion is amazing. Nino Schurter almost taking off. Unbelievable over that last little jump. Out they go. Head back across the bridge and the river, and then it is onto the Dentist Trail, which runs along the river, close to the river, through the forest. Pop out of that, and very soon they'll be into the Yorkersdorp Trail. Schurter looks over his shoulder, sees where Fini is. That's the race today. How is Sebastian Fini going to manage the pace that Nino Schurter is laying down here today? And just up ahead, well, they are chasing, I think that's Daniel Gesmeyer, his partner. And then further up the road is Becking and Alleman, the Buff Megamo pair. That's the race on today. Meanwhile, up the road, the Bulls Mavericks, Simon Schneller and his partner is Urshuba. And we're now on the Dentist Trail. And this is the handiwork of the dentist in town and a passionate trail builder, Corey Miller, and the Stellenbosch Trail Fund, who come and rehab this every year because mostly it gets washed away by the rains. And we're on the wheel of Andreas Seewald and his partner, Mark Stutzman, Canyon City.
Yeah, this trail actually from the road, from the Yukosup road, is not so easy to see, but it's really like the road. It's maybe just 50 or 100 meters on the right-hand side from this trail.
Heading up to Yukosup, that's right. I love it. You get a sense of being in a forest, yet the road is just there. But it's a lovely little trail, and there are two trails. This is the outward trail, and there's a different one coming in down below this. In fact, you can just see it there, is the inward trail. So you don't ride into anyone, you can go flat out here, and no problem at all, you're not going to see anyone.
So these two riders here, the Canyon City team, are going flat out indeed. It's the narrow trails. This is as fast as you can ride them. It's the world's best marathoners in front of us. The world marathon champion, and former world marathon champion, Andreas Seewald, in front of us right now, and ahead of him is his partner, Mark Stutzman, the 2023 Swiss Epic champion and the Swiss champion also. They went into today's stage in 4th spot of overall general classification, and they did have a 3-minute 24 to make up over Buff Megamo, but it doesn't look like today is going to be their day. We expected more from this team because we had very high expectations. We arguably expected them to be one of the favorites for the overall general classification win. Not to be for them. They had a disappointing first couple of days, but made good with the stage win. And Seewald and Stutzman are on the charge now and hoping to get back into contention with the top, the very front of the field. And we all remember them winning the stage in stage 3 is the stage they won. To repeat that, but looks unlikely with the motivation of the Bulls. Urshuba is coming good at the end of race week.
Drop down now off that trail. They've come out brief on the tar and they head through a section known locally as Kirikwak. And they'll hold down the paving here, stretch a little bit. It's that sort of day today with so much single track. It's intense all the way. Not too much opportunity, firstly, to stretch, and secondly, to refuel. You've got to be very, very clever about when you refuel. Like now, maybe, on this gravel. Yeah, this is the time.
And I mean, it's also all the while, it's like the lower back. we also saw with Sebastian Fini. He also try really like to use each opportunity to maybe just give his back a little bit of stretch. Yeah, it works. It just really works your whole body, and yeah, you need also then to take advantage if you can quickly give your body a bit of stretch.
You had an opportunity just to talk about your off the bike when you were racing at the sharp end. Your off the bike preparation, physical training. What was that? What did you do?
Yeah, I mean, core workout, core training is very important for, especially like also for mountain biking, because your upper body also, it's not just static, but you just